Good evening. The third topic today is about in human cloning is about Aura-DNA imprinting of contacts with alter the human cloned genes. In its simple description, each human composed of karyotic cells that has a nucleus surrounded by a nucleic membrane, and it has a nucleopore that permits entry and exit of materials from the nucleus into the cytoplasm and vice versa. The nucleus contains also nucleic strands that arrange in string of pairs in the chromosomes. We do have in the nucleus nucleoplasm, that is the oily, it has oily nature surrounded by the water nature cytoplasm. Being in a good state of mind and good citizen with good deeds, God would bless every cell in your body, and every cell is counted and accountable. So the love of God would make the effector organs God will bless, as we said, every cell in your body, and that starts from the effector in organs to perform a function in such a way the nuclear strands that arrange in a string of pairs will illuminate an almost illuminated oily cytoplasm inside the nuclear membrane, and it would look like illuminated planet of pearls. And that is the same description that God put in Quran on describing his light. He resembles his light with a planet of pearls. The sense of good or bad deeds would be interpreted as an emotion linked, and it's carried out to the CNS through autonomic nervous system with the cranial sacral output represented in parasympathetic nervous system, and the thoracolumbar output represented in sympathetic nervous system. And so a human can have a generalized state of light emission, and in doing so, Aura imprint would have the same DNA imprint of the same individual. Aura can unwind, rearrange the nucleic acid, and then wind up the DNA again, so thus it can alter the gene expression of the cells, including its healing effect. Surrogate mother Aura can alter the genes of rapidly dividing cells of the embryo and fetus. Thus, embryo fetus can acquire surrogate mother genes. Since Aura emitting from the whole body, God would support good citizen hands, feet, and his purpose. Their senses also will be deepened. So, in doing so, Aura would remove the physical membrane from our special senses, from our sight, from our hearing, and from our heart. This will enable us to to seeing the truth by cognition, by our insight, rather than by the external stimuli. It will also deepen our sight independent, and it would deepen our hearing, deepen our heart, and those believers would come with the right judgment. Between humans, transfer of aura energy will alter the recipient genes into donor genes, as we said, in surrogacy, of which the longer duration, the longer the surface area of contact, the more gene altered, and thus more matching. So those working in organ transplant can choose their donors based on their duration of contact rather than blood relatives. Human and animals also can recognize relatives in contact through Aura-DNA imprint of their emitted light energy. And Aura-DNA imprint can be transferred through contacts, as we said, 6 and RFID chip. First theory is that Aura-DNA imprint can be transferred through 6. Now, once full penetration achieved, Aura energy can alter the gene expression of rapidly dividing cells that lining vagina and uterus into their male sex partner, and thus alter the emitting energy of those organs into their sex partner, to include their sex partners, which in turn transmitted through parasympathetic to the sacrum, into CNS, and then to the whole body. The turnover of the lining cells would take 3 to 4 months, at which the newly expressed Aura-DNA imprint of the by that partner would disappear, and the woman would forget her lover and start a new relation again. The imprint can stay longer, for years, if both persons stay connected, if they stay loved each other, stay contacted, or they have sleep, dreams, and soul meetings. Sex energy can also alter the rapidly growing in utero embryo fetus, and thus multiple sexual partners can alter the gene expressions of their biological father into their genes. The more sex, the more gene alteration, and the more difficult to claim biological fatherhood. So that's why in our Islam, the divorce can be announced only after pregnancy ends. Breastfed altered DNA of rapidly growing infants, those who are below 2 years, through milk donor DNA, Aura-DNA imprint. Thus, infant genes can be altered into match the breast-fed donor genes. However, the number of feeds to produce maternal Aura-DNA imprint are debatable and can range from 1 to 6 breastfed. Thus, breastfed of infants who are below 2 years is a way of claiming motherhood. Number 3, contacts. Stepmothers can alter gene expression of their growing stepkids through transferring the altered reproductive organ energy, the aura that has been already altered by their matched father genes. So that transferred energy would be effectively altered those growing infants into their stepmother genes if the stepmother keep taking care of their stepkids while keeping them into their lobby. The longer they keep them into their lobby through loving relationship, the more their gene expression will be altered into their stepmother genes, and the stepmother can claim motherhood through that way of alteration of genes. Then we come into another way of transferring Aura-DNA imprint energy is through contact. Aura can alter contact genes, including relatives, friends, lovers, and any human dividing cells we can come across, and that is true in biology lab, in fertility lab, human cloning labs, and etc. Contacts can be head to head, sacral to head. It can be through hands, mouth, breath, to face, and the mouth of the recipient, to head and spine, and to the whole body. So the longer the duration of contact and loving relationship, the more you ensure matched Aura-DNA imprint of donor and recipient. So that's why it's advisable to frequently contacting your relatives and your loved one, but to also stay away and stay positive while working in labs, taking care of a human dividing cells. Number 4, RFID chip transfer of energy. So that's another way and a new way of transferring energy through AI. IoT is using RFID chip, through which the energy can be transferred from the source to recipients, and in doing so, we would have alteration of genes of the recipients, including their growing cranial cells. The longer the duration, the more Aura-DNA imprint, and because of the adverse events related to the chip and that electromagnetic energy, it's pretty safer and effective to transfer energy via hand chip rather than brain inserted chips. People can claim fatherhood or brotherhood or replica through this kind of transfer of Aura-DNA imprint. It's also advisable to keep human clone connected to their somatic nuclear cell donors via RFID chips, and that would guarantee genetic phenotype. Imprinting includes psychosocial attributes. I hope this would help scientists in getting more insight into the work they do in human clones. And thank you very much for listening, and you have a wonderful day.